Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 6th December 2024. So let's get started with our discussion, and in our today's newspaper there are very less articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. Okay, let us see the first article. See this article guys. 3 die in Tamil Nadu after consuming contaminated piped water. So what does this article is talking about? It is talking about water contamination. Okay, so water contamination is a very serious problem now in Tamil Nadu that led to killing or death of 3 people. So the key word here is water contamination. So from which subject we can see this? From GS paper to under governance, because it is the responsibility of government to provide a safe drinking water, and this water contamination happened in piped water. And next one here is, even in GS paper 2 we have a topic called as health. And even from GS1 we can study under this Indian society. And even there is also a chance of getting case study in your GS paper 4 ethics. Like if you are a district collector, so you found that water contamination is happening in your area and that is causing serious health issues in your district. And especially many people, they reported a death, and as well as many people, they reported unhealthy or like health issues. And there is increased number of cases in government hospitals and as well as private clinics. So there they will be giving a condition like private clinics, they took this as an advantage and they are charging high amount of fees for test everything. So that what happened, it is leading to increasing of burden on the families. So in this context, as a district collector, what are the steps that you are going to take? Am I making any sense? Okay, so in that way, here if you are getting any case study, there you have to know about what are the options that you have, and you have to evaluate each and every option, and even you have to see which option you will be choosing, or else they may ask like what are the measures can be taken. So whenever you are writing measures, you have to address both long term and as well as short term measures. Okay, so what are the things that you have to see here? So first one is you have to see what is the reason of water contamination. So tell me, now this article is saying about especially piped water. That means water which is coming from the pipe is getting contaminated. So what are the possible reasons for this contamination of piped water? Tell me. Piped water contamination, possible reasons. What might have happened? Okay, one is leakages. Because of leakages, yes, there is a chance of contamination. Apart from that, leakages. Next, think. Okay, and there is no proper distillation. Next. So the place where we are storing water, there is also chance of contamination of the place where we are storing the water. Next, there is no proper storage facilities. Okay, tell me what are the measures you can take now based on this possible reasons of this. So what can you do for leakages? We have to go for proper monitoring. So can we connect this topic from work culture? Yes or no? So in your ethics, we read about work culture of public and as well as private institutions. And even can we commit under citizen charters? So in citizen charters, it will be giving about the list of the services which is provided by the government and even within a prescribed time limit. So if you are not having adequate staff in public, can we ensure repairing of leakages at that particular time within a prescribed time limit? No. So because of this, we can connect this topic with work culture and as well as citizen charters. And next, what can we do for distillation problem? So we have to go for proper treatment of water before releasing into pipes. And next one is, even there is a chance that yes, after proper cleaning treatment of water in the storage facilities, even there may be contamination that happens in the pipe also. If the pipe is not good, obviously there may be a chance of contamination. We have to go for regular cleaning of that pipes. And next, at storage facilities also, we need to ensure proper storage of the water. Okay, So now tell me, are there any schemes of government which is providing functional piped water? Which scheme is that? Jal? Yes, Jal Jeevan Mission, JJM. So what is this Jal Jeevan Mission scheme is about? Providing of water in which areas? Rural areas or urban areas? Again confusion, rural or urban. Through functional piped water. So what is the capacity of water will be given per a person? How many liters of water under this mission? Okay, normally how many liters of water that you will be using per a day? For brushing, bathing, for everything. So approximately how many liters of water? 40? Enough? 40? Per day. Per day. Per day. Per day. Per day. So normally what are the buckets you are using? What is the capacity? It is around 15 to 20 liters of water. Now tell me how many buckets of water you will be using per a day? Have you measured at least? What if in case if you are staying in water insecure areas? Already water scarcity has been increasing in many metropolitan areas like Chennai, even in Delhi also, and even in Hyderabad also we have water scarcity. So how we can address that problem? Okay, see about this scheme. So this scheme, it is focusing on providing of functional piped water. So here, as I said, you will be getting case study. There will be linking with this kind of government scheme. In that government scheme, there is contamination of water had been seen. So because of this, many people are getting affected. So what are the measures that you can take as a district collector? So in this way, you can get a case study. Or else they may also interlink with this private hospitals, government hospitals. Private hospitals are getting more profits. Like that also you can get a case study. Okay, so tell me, because of this water contamination, what is the impact on Indian society? Because of water contamination, now there is deaths happen. So because of this deaths, what is the impact? For example, from economy point of view, from environment and ecology point of view, from society point of view, okay, from governance point of view, from science and technology point of view. So what is the impact? Tell me. From economy point of view, because of that, there will be increasing of burden on that family. Right? For example, if a bread earner of a family had died, then what happened? So there will be increasing on the burden of the government. Government now need to give the subsidies. Next, because of contamination of water, it is not only having impact on the birds, animals, what are the biodiversity that is present, entirely it is having impact. And even there will be a chance of soil contamination, water contamination. And next is there is also leads to increasing of pollution. And next one is on society. What happened? There is decreasing of human capital. So whenever the people health is affected, can we ensure proper capital of that society? No, there will be decreasing of economic activities. So all this way, there is a huge impact of this water contamination. So now let us see this article in detail, what exactly it is saying. So 3 individuals, including an elderly woman, died in Pallavaram, Chennai after consuming contaminated piped water. So actually, the post-mortem report revealed this thing that these people died because of contaminated water. Because of that, that led to severe food poisoning. Okay, and several residents in that area also reported similar kind of symptoms. So finally, now here officials, they are going to launch a response efforts. And what government need to do now? Here it have to focus on providing of safety. Public health is very important now. So that they are going for medical camps and as well as water supply investigations. So one important step you have to write in the short-term measure as a district collector is you have to go for establishment of medical camps. And in that medical camps, we have to go for giving of at least first aid for the people who are having this kind of signs and symptoms. And even we have to go for deep investigation regarding where exactly the mistake happened. Okay? And if you see the key important points that you have to see is contamination source. So this death which highlights that the issue is with water quality in urban areas. So what is the problem in urban areas? Do we have proper wastewater management? No. Do we have solid waste management? No. So because of all these things, if we are throwing litter anywhere, then what happens? So we are creating dumping sites. So in these dumping sites, what happens whenever they are going for like rotting, decomposition, that everything will be seeping into the groundwater, right? So whenever we are extracting the groundwater and we are storing in a storing facility, and whenever we are sending that water through the pipes, obviously that will lead to contamination. So this is one important problem in especially urban areas. So because of this, we need to have a better monitoring system and as well as better infrastructure for the treatment of this water. And next one here is rapid mobilization of the health official is very, very important now, because now 3 members they died and many people they are reporting similar kind of symptoms. That means in future we may expect that the death rate will be obviously increased if you are not taking certain steps. So because of this, now we need urgent public health response so that we can prevent further this kind of outbreaks not only in that area, in other areas as well. And next one here is this outbreak which affected whom? Significant number of residents, indicating that there are lot of systematic issues in our local water supply system. So here now, because of this huge range of contamination of water and water related diseases and symptoms, we can understand that what are the local supply systems are there. We are not having good infrastructure in that local water supply system. And next one here is who is accountable? Who is responsible for this? So it's obviously the government. So government need to be accountable. And even we have to increase transparency in these investigations in public health crisis. And this one is we need to take some preventive measures. So what are the preventive measures we can take? Like we can establish certain medical camps now as soon as possible. And we have to distribute essential medicines which are useful for treating of their signs and symptoms. And even we have to manage public health emergencies in that area. Okay, and even we have to take some long-term solutions. So tell me what are the long-term solutions we can take so that we can further prevent this kind of incidents in future? What are the long-term solutions? Sanitation next. Monitoring, okay. Preventing leakages, that means we have to maintain enough staff. Next, we have to focus on water treatment, sustainable water treatment solutions. Okay, so that we can prevent waterborne diseases. So in diseases, we have 2 types of diseases, that is communicable and non-communicable. So the most important reason for the spread of this communicable disease is contamination of food and water. So because of this, what happened, even there will be wide range spread of diseases, especially because of diarrhea, cholera. The huge death rate is there, especially in children who are below 5 years of age. So that we have to take urgent steps to control that even waterborne disease. And even we have to focus on awareness campaigns and we have to give education to the people regarding water safety so that we can empower the communities to prevent or to protect themselves from this kind of incidents. Yeah, see this image. What is this image is about? Beautiful birds. Name of that bird, have you seen? Flamingo. Okay, so can you guess in which place we have these flamingos now in India? In which lake? So tell me about famous lakes in India. Pulicat Lake next. Kolleru. Chilika. Next. Loktak. Dal. Okay, Hular. So actually, in Pulicat Lake now we got this migratory birds. So because of this is in news. If you're getting any bird species in news, you have to know that. Okay. So what is the specialty of this flamingos? Do you know anything regarding this flamingos? It is coming from? Okay, red color beak. Okay, next. What about the neck? Long neck, S-shaped neck. Okay, so flamingos, they are large seashore birds or large shore birds, and they have ears like long necks, and they have stick-like legs. So in the world, there are 6 species of these flamingos. Out of the 6 species, in India we have 2 species, that is greater and lesser flamingos. Okay, so you have to know about 6 species. The first one is greater flamingo. Next one is Chilean flamingo, American flamingo, lesser flamingo, Andean flamingo, James flamingo. Out of this greater and lesser flamingo, they are present in India. It is very important. So here you may get a question like, consider the following species of flamingo. Which species are present in India? We have greater and lesser. So where they will present? They will present in very shallow water bodies. For example, in saline lagoons or in salt plants, saline or alkaline lakes. That means they will not seen in fresh water lakes. Okay, Pulicat is a salt water lake. So in the salt water or in the saline conditions only, they can be survived. And their color can vary from white to pink to orange depending upon their diet. Okay, depending upon their diet, the color of that flamingo can be changed. And next one here is they depend upon algae, molluscans and crustaceans. What is this crustaceans? Crustaceans are nothing but prawns and prawns related family members. Okay, greater flamingo, it is one of the most widespread and largest in this flamingo species, and especially they are found in Africa as well as Indian subcontinent and even in the Middle East. And especially it is found all over in India, but it is not seen in Himalayas and as well as eastern northeastern India. So in eastern northeastern India and Himalayas, we can not see this because if you see, as I said, they will be not present in the fresh water. So in Himalayan region, east and as well as northeastern region, we will be having most amount of freshwater lakes only. So this is the reason why we can't see this flamingos in this Himalayas and as well as east and as well as northeastern India. And next here is lesser flamingo. Lesser means nothing but it is one of the smallest species of flamingo. It is mainly seen in western India's brackish water places like Gujarat, Rajasthan and Mumbai. Okay. And say this article, ICJ, at ICJ, India blames developed nations for the climate crisis. What is this ICJ? International Court of Justice. Okay, so why India is blaming developed nations for what? What happened in the recent past? Okay, they are not giving funds. Okay, it is talking about climate crisis. So what happened? So what are the conferences or the meeting regarding this climate crisis in the recent past? COP29 next. Yes, plastic treaty. Plastic treaty of United Nations. Okay, so in these two recent summits or recent meetings regarding this climate change, so India not satisfied. So because of this now in ICJ also, that is International Court of Justice also, India blamed these developed countries. So guess on which areas India blamed developed countries? First one is funds, that is climate finance. Next one is technology. Next funds, technology. So we can't go for decreasing of production cut of plastics. It will be having impact on economy. Next climate finance, technology, production of plastics. Next wars. Exactly, regarding climate change. Think. So actually India is focusing on one important point in this ICJ. That is, if you see the difference between these developed and as well as developing countries, so when these countries started industrial revolution, so which country started IR first? Developed countries, they started industrial revolution way back. So because of this, they used whatever the fossil fuels they want, whatever the resources they want, and they released most of carbon dioxide emissions already. But now developing countries, they are getting technology now, and they started industrial revolution recently, and they are focusing on development, production, and to decrease their reliance on these developed countries now. So now these countries, they started emitting carbon dioxide into atmosphere. Now which countries are keeping limitations? developed countries are keeping limitations on these developing countries. So whenever developed countries are keeping limitations on these developing, so-called developing countries, can they address their problems like hunger, like poverty, everything? No, right? Will they achieve this target of developed or increasing of production or increasing of economic activities? No. So this is the point which is focused by India in this ICJ, that from generations onwards there is discrimination between developed and as well as developing countries. These so-called developed countries, they started industrial revolution way back and they released whatever they want into atmosphere, and now they are keeping limitations on these developing and as well as least developed countries. It is not fair. Okay, so this is the point which is India focused and India blamed on this point, especially developed countries in this ICJ. So from which subject you can see this, guys? From GS paper 3 under environment and ecology, and even this kind of organizations, international organizations that you will be studying in your GS paper 2 under international relations. So my request is just go through this some basic facts regarding this ICJ. So there is a high chance of getting question regarding International Court of Justice. Okay, now let us see exactly what India said in this ICJ. So during a critical hearing at ICJ, that is International Court of Justice, India criticized the developed nations for their historical role in climate crisis. And even India emphasized that there is exploitation of carbon budget, and even they are failed to fulfill climate finance commitments. And India also argued that these developed countries, they got benefit from this fossil fuels. And now these developed countries, they are keeping restrictions on developing countries that not to release carbon dioxide emissions. So this is the thing which mainly said. So here developed countries, they already benefited from using of fossil fuels, and now because of keeping on the restrictions on these developing countries, now it is preventing these developing nations from utilizing their own resources. For example, Paris Climate Deal. So in that Paris Climate Deal, what are the features or provisions under this deal? We have to reduce carbon dioxide emissions so that we can reduce global warming. So what is the target? 1.5 degrees to 2 degrees centigrade when we compare to pre-industrial level, that is 1990s. Okay, so if we want to achieve that deal, obviously we have to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. That means we have to cut use of fossil fuels. So do these countries like developing and least developed countries, can they sustain economically if they are coming out of this fossil fuels? No. So this is the point which had been focused by India in this ICJ. Clear? And the important points that you have to see is India is asserting that since developed nations, they historically contributed more to climate change, and now they should bear greater responsibility for its impact. So these countries, they released large amount of emissions. Because of this, now the climate change is happening because of these developed nations. So now it is the responsibility of these countries to take, to control this climate change. It is not the responsibility of least developed countries or developing countries. So this is the point which mainly said. And next one here is wealthier nations, they have resources so that they can develop technologies, they can invest in research and development, and they can have the equipment to combat this climate change effectively. So because of this, now there is a global inequality between developed and developing and least developed countries. They don't have technology to combat this climate change. So here, and even because of this technology difference or technology gap between this developed and developing countries, now we are having global inequality. And because of this climate change, developed countries are not get affecting. Because of this climate change, least developed countries, especially island countries, they are vulnerable now. So that is a point which mainly said. And this one is India is also critic of developed countries, and it is also highlighting that nations that got benefited from the fossil fuel, now they are imposing restrictions on developing nations. That means we need to have a fair approach to energy transition now. It is not correct to completely keeping some restrictions on developing countries. They came up with this industrial revolution recently, and even some least developed countries, they didn't start this industrial revolution. But how can we impose restrictions on these countries? And next one here is climate finance commitments. So India is also having the concerns about unmet pledges, and there are a lot of gaps in global climate finance. So we have to take some urgent actions or urgent attention regarding this. And next one here is we have to balance our goals and as well as burdens, and even we have to maintain proper accountability and as well as obligations regarding future climate agreements. Okay, so that's the thing which mainly said here. And see this article, PSLV C-59 places Proba 3 satellite to designate, okay, into a designated orbit with precision. So what is this Proba 3 is about? Solar mission. Which space agency's project is it? European Space Agency's project. So what is a similar kind of project of India to study sun? Aditya L1. Okay, so just see about what is this PSLV. So in yesterday's class we discussed this topic. And see this article. Bhutan and India discuss Gelephu hydel power plants. What is this article talking about? India-Bhutan relations done, right? No? Okay. So where is this Bhutan located? Do we share direct boundary with Bhutan? Okay, so do you know about historical ties between India and Bhutan, whether it is India's friendly nation or not? No idea. It is a friendly nation. So whether this country, it is a landlocked country or it is having boundary with any water body, it is a landlocked country. So because of this, obviously, this kind of countries need to have good friendship with the country which is having boundary with the sea. So that India is playing a very important role. Actually, India and Bhutan, they have a good relations, good ties. And do you know about this Doklam Valley? Doklam Valley. So India-China relations done? India-China relations. Okay, in 2017, what happened? No, ma'am. Okay. So there is a place called as Doklam Valley. So it is our India border. So here we have this part is called as Bhutan, right? Okay. So if you see here this portion, it is a tri-junction of India. So we have India, we have Bhutan and we have China. So here in that Doklam Valley, there was a standoff between India and China in 2017. At that time, Bhutan didn't supported China, but Bhutan supported India. And finally, because of this Bhutan support, we resolved that issue between India and China easily. But if you see in 2020, so there was a standoff in this LAC region, line of actual control between India and China. So that is a region, it is especially between India and China. There is no third country interference or third country involvement there. Recently in 2024, we saw that there is resolution which is going to happen. But today also in our newspaper, there is one more rounds of talk between India and China regarding this disengagement in this LAC. So that is there in our newspaper. So at that time, we had complete and peaceful resolution very fast because of the support of Bhutan. Okay, so here you have to see that King of Bhutan, he visited India, and in this meet they talked about two important things. So first one is Gelephu and second one is hydel power plants or projects. So India is one of the good consumer of hydel power of Bhutan. So Bhutan's economy, it is mainly depend upon hydropower, because you know that it is also present in this Himalayan, it is also Himalayan country. So Himalayan country is very much famous for perennial rivers, and that perennial rivers are very fast flowing and they have good source of water. So because of this, they constructed many dams and they are generating hydroelectricity, and India consumes most of this hydroelectricity of Bhutan. So it is one of the important method we are having the good bilateral relationship between India and as well as Bhutan. Okay, now let us see this article. So here you have to know about what is this Gelephu project. Gelephu Mindfulness City project. It is one of the infrastructure project in Bhutan. So for this, India is helping. So if you are writing about India-Bhutan relations, especially one important area of cooperation between India and Bhutan is hydropower. Next one is infrastructure projects in Bhutan. So India's project here is Gelephu Mindfulness City project. So here you may get a question like recently Gelephu Gelephu project is in news. So between which and which country it is? It was like cooperation, like they may ask India, China, India, Japan, India, Bhutan, India, Nepal. So you will be getting almost similar options like with which country you are sharing boundary, that countries will be there. So you have to be very sure that it is between India and Bhutan. So actually India and Bhutan, they discussed key bilateral projects during King's visit, and they were focusing on completion of Punatsagachu 1 hydropower project. So you may also get question on this. In which country we have this hydropower project? And next one is Gelephu Mindfulness City project. Okay, and we want to enhance economic cooperation and as well as cross-border connectivity between these two nations, and even we have to improve bilateral relationship between India and Bhutan. There it will be very helpful. Okay, so this meeting between King and as well as our Prime Minister, it shows that we are having a good partnership between India and as well as Bhutan, and now these both nations, they work collaboratively on significant development projects now. And next one here is hydropower. It remains as a cornerstone for Bhutan's economy. And whenever we are helping this Bhutan in this purchasing of hydropower and as well as development of hydropower projects in this Bhutan, it will be very helpful for commitment to sustainable energy. Do you know this Global Happiness Index? Yes. So which country started that? Which country is the top? Switzerland. Which country started that? Started. Actually, it is started by Bhutan only. So Bhutan is a very small country and it will be focusing on development more than competitive growth. So because of this, it wants to improve the happiness of the people in that country. And it is one of the country which will be focusing on and saving of environment more. So the priority of government will be protection of environment because it is a Himalayan country. So if anything happens wrong means it will be danger for each and every person in that so and so country. So this country will be focusing on especially tourism and as well as environment. In that tourism also they want to focus on only ecotourism. It will be not allowing the plastic pollution at any cost in that country. And next one here is this Gelephu Mindfulness City project, which illustrates that Bhutan's innovative approach to urban planning, and they are aiming for enhancing of quality of life and as well as attracting of investment. So if you are talking about Himalayan state in our country, especially in this Himalayan state, if you take UP and as well as Uttarakhand, we have many Chardham projects there, right? Like Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath. So because of this increasing of tourism or increasing of pilgrimage people or like people who visit these pilgrimages, so there is increasing of pressure on this land. And as you all know that Himalayas are made up of sedimentary rocks. Okay, so because of this, what happened? Whenever there is unwanted weather events which happen, that will lead to lot of damage in this region because it is not that much stable region when we are comparing with that of Western Ghats. So because of this, recently you might have known about this Joshimat sinking, the sinking of land. So there is a crackages which are happening in these buildings, and even the houses are getting inside the soil because of this sediment rocks. So here in the same way, whenever we are going for unplanned urban development, it says that it is unsustainable. The best example here is Joshimat sinking in India. So because of this, they want to go for proper sustainable development because the mostly Himalayas are made up of sedimentary rocks, and that sedimentary rocks are same in India and as well as in Bhutan. So they want to learn the lessons that what happened in India, and they want to go for sustainable urban development now. Okay, so they want innovative approach of urban planning, and they want to enhance the quality of life, and especially they want to go for sustainable development. And next one here is they're also focusing on improving of cross-border connectivity as well, like rail projects, like digital networks, and as well as infrastructure, etc. And even they're also focusing on getting of investments. So there is a potential investment or involvement of Adani Group in Bhutan. So actually because of some allegations on this Adani, so there is also some cause of concern between the investments of this Adani Group in Bhutan. Okay, so that's the thing that you have to see. And just to see about some facts regarding this city. So this city, which is built around a series of inhabitable bridges and is expected to be a low-rise city, and it is going to have its own university in that city, and as well as they are focusing on improving of healthcare facilities in this city, and they want to enhance both Western and as well as traditional medicine in this city. And even they want to have their own international airport in this city as well. Okay, and they want to protect against flooding. Paddy fields will be built along the rivers, forming urban terraces, etc. That means they're especially focusing on sustainability in this city. Okay, next article, see here. States and the challenge before Finance Commission. What is Finance Commission? Is it a constitutional body? Finance Commission? Which article talks about this Finance Commission then? Article 110 talks about money bill. 112 talks about annual financial statement. 260. Which article talks about Finance Commission? Article 2, not 68, 280. Article 280 talks about this Finance Commission. It is a constitutional body. So for how many years it will be constitution every time? 5 years. So for what? What is the functions of this Finance Commission? Devolution of funds. So types of devolution of funds: vertical devolution, horizontal devolution. Vertical devolution is between center and states, but horizontal devolution between the states. Okay, so what is the problem now with the southern states regarding this Finance Commission? So we are going to have this 16th Finance Commission, right? Okay, so tell me, what are the problems with this Finance Commission in southern states? So there is some criteria on which the Finance Commission will be deciding the devolution of taxes, right? So on these factors, especially southern states, they are getting disadvantage. For example, population, for example, TFR, everything. So because of this, northern states, they are going to get more amount of funds compared to the southern states. So it is a cause of concern between northern states and southern states regarding Finance Commission. So that is the thing which is clearly given here in this article. So 16th Finance Commission is chaired by whom? Arvind Panagaria. It is very important. Arvind Panagaria, he is the chairperson of the 16th Finance Commission. And this 16th Finance Commission, which aims to address India's fiscal challenges and as well as imbalances between state and as well as union. And now Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, he is emphasizing that we need to get more funds. We need to get equitable resource distribution. How you are giving sources or resources to this north, in the same way these south states need to be get. So this is the argument which mainly said. And even Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is saying that we need to get 50% of funds. So normally it will be 41 or 42%. Okay, earlier it is 41, and now he's saying that we have to get 50% of devolution of gross central taxes. So that what happened, whenever states are getting more amount of funds, that will be helpful for enhancing of what? Financial autonomy of the states. So what is the problem of this Tamil Nadu? They said that they have to invest more in 3 areas. Which are those 3 areas? Recently Tamil Nadu state said. First one is infrastructure, next one is disaster, next one is old age people. Yes or no? So are these points we discussed in our earlier classes? The first one is always Tamil Nadu is vulnerable for disasters. If there is any cyclone in Bay of Bengal, it will be obviously affecting this Tamil Nadu. And recently cyclone Falgal also affected this Tamil Nadu, and many people, they died in this. So because of this, infrastructure damage is happening, loss of life, loss of property. So because of this, we need to have more amount of funds. And next one is we have to go for increasing of or repairing of infrastructure. For that, we need funds. And next one is TFR rate is decreasing. That means increasing of old age people is happening in this Tamil Nadu. So whenever there is increasing of old age people, there will be increasing of burden on this government, because they have to give pensions to this old age people, and as well as increasing of healthcare benefits, insurance, etc. Social sector schemes like that. So because of this, there will be the increased burden on this state of Tamil Nadu. So here, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu is saying that we need 50% of devolution of taxes, so that it will be helpful for financial autonomy of states. So we discussed this point, I think 1 month ago, I think so. 18th November. Okay. So here, whenever you are reading something, that will be obviously interconnected in the at least in 1 month. So you have to go for revising those topics, so that then only you can write a multi-dimensional answer, or else you can't. Okay. And if you see some important things that you have to remember here is Finance Commission. It is having a challenge, that is we have to rectify this financial imbalances between union and states. Like in the vertical devolution, so we need to increase the funds. So earlier it is 41%, now the states are demanding 50% of devolution of taxes. And this one is we have to ensure fair resource allocation. So whenever there is a fair resource allocation between these two areas like south and north, we can ensure proper development in that states. The states will be getting financial autonomy. And this one here is, this article is saying that here states are demanding for increased share of central taxes so that it will be addressing their local needs and as well as improvement of economic growth and stability of that state. And this one here is, even there are also some shifts in global trade dynamics. So because of this, now there is also providing a unique opportunity for India, so that Finance Commission needs to capitalize on these changes. For example, if you see in the recent past, there is increasing of exports of our country and increasing of production because of production linked incentive schemes, and as well as we are also exporting even defense equipment for different countries like Philippines, and even 3 other countries are going to give a proposal of export of that BrahMos to those countries. And even we are also moving forward in this space technology, and recently yesterday itself we launched Proba 3 of European Space Agency. So like that, what happened, we are having lots of advancements. So because of this, obviously the income of our country will be also get increased. So because of this, now states are demanding that we need more amount of money. So we have to consider that. That is, states are asking this Finance Commission, as the chairman of this Finance Commission, to also take into the consideration of this capitalization of these changes which happened in the recent past. So based on that, here Finance Commission need to take the decision. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said. And even we are having some unique challenges of progressive states. As I said, Tamil Nadu is having demographic problem, that is TFR is decreasing, old age population is increasing, and even urban challenges you are having, and even disasters. So because of all these problems, the different states, they have their own requirements. So based on that, allocation should be done properly. And next one here is the same thing, urbanization, inclusive growth, and resource allocation is very, very important. So here just open your Lakshmikant once and open this constitutional bodies topic, and you have to refer this Finance Commission. So who are the members and what is eligibility criteria, whether they are eligible for reappointment or not, what is the criteria for removal, and what are the functions of this Finance Commission, what is vertical devolution, what is horizontal devolution. So see all these topics clearly, and there is a high chance of getting question regarding Finance Commission for sure, because after 5 years we are getting this, right? So this will become very important. So in prelims and as well as means, you will be getting a question for sure. Okay, so these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching, and please do like this class and share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods Science Academy. And we are providing daily current affairs quiz, which is very much relevant to our today's current affairs. So do attempt that current affairs quiz also. Link is given in description box.